Hi, welcome to the first training of SAP FICO module. This is a video based training and it covers complete SAP FICO module. Let's start with what we will be doing in today's training. Today's training is divided into three parts. First, an overview on the SAP FICO module. Second, we will be covering the course contents. And in third, we'll be taking up a practical example in the SAP FICO part, and we'll see how it works within the SAP system as live. Now, as discussed, the table of content, which includes SAP FICO overview and then the course content. The course content is divided into two parts. One is FI submodules overview and then the controlling submodules overview and then the other topics. Now moving on to the SAP FICO module overview. SAP FICO module refers to the finance, which refers to FI, and the controlling, which is CO module. FI and CO are the core modules of SAP system. FI, which is finance, refers to financial accounting, whereas CO refers to controlling, and generally it is termed as the managerial accounting. FI is updates for external reporting and CO is used for internal reporting purposes. The module is tightly integrated with sales and distribution module, which is called SD, whereas material management, which is called MM module. So FICO is very much tightly integrated with the SD and the MM module part. This FI and CO are two different subparts, which is termed, as we have seen, one is termed as FI, which is for external reporting purposes, whereas CO, which is for internal reporting purposes. This diagram will give you a better picture of the FICO part. There are two kinds of reporting being done, that is external and internal accounting or reporting. As you can see on the diagram, on the picture, that the external parties over here are the external parties who need various informations from the company's accounts and finance department, whereas within the box these are the internal parties which need informations for internal purposes. Like for auditors, they need accounts and the financial statements for auditing perspective. Similarly, for tax authorities, they need different tax related informations, which is a part of FI, that is financial accounting. Similarly, the stockholders, banks, legal authorities, these all needs the financial statements, that is profit and loss account and the income statement, and which is being generated from the external accounting, that is SAP FI module. Whereas for internal reporting, like administrators or the management, managers, controllers, to control various costs within the company, they need the internal reports, which is a part of controlling module. So these are two different parts which we will be taking up in two different parts, in which we will be first taking up the FI module and then after that we'll be going to the CO module, because without FI module you cannot implement CO module in any organization, as all the data flows from the FI, that is the finance and accounting, to the controlling part or to the managerial accounting part. Moving on, the training which we are going on, which you will be taking up, will include these three things. One is step-by-step configurations, step-by-step transaction processing, and step-by-step report generation. Whatever the FICO whole course or the complete FICO module part will be providing you each and every configuration steps what you have to do, what kind of a configurations to be done. And once you have done the configuration, we will be going for transaction processing, so as to check that whatever the configurations are done are successful and up to the mark, and will be able to deliver the results. And once you have completed the configuration and the transactions, then we'll be looking for the reports, as the various reports are needed within an organization for external reporting as well as for internal reporting. So moving on to the next. Now these are the various topics in the FI module which we will be covering. This is the part of the course content. The course content is divided into two parts. One is FI and the another is CO. So in the FI submodule overview, it includes your enterprise structure, general ledger accounting, then accounts payable, accounts receivable, bank accounting, assets accounting. So if you go to these one by one, the enterprise structure, as you can see on the screen, is the organizational structure that represents an enterprise in the SAP system. It is a portrayal of an enterprise hierarchy where there is a client and then there is a company and the company code, then the business area and the functional areas. Whereas moving on to the next is your general ledger accounting. The general ledger accounting holds all the accounts for balance sheet and income statements. The general ledger accounting includes your chart of account group, master data, then posting journal entries, recurring entries, accrual and deferrals, parking reversals and mass reversals, then again interest calculations, and clearing and auto clearing, financial statement versions and reports. So this is a part of general ledger. This is just an overview what we will be covering as a course content, and later on we'll be going for each of these topics in detail, how these have been done. Again, moving on to the next, accounts payable. Accounts payable, which is basically related to the vendors or the suppliers. In this, it is a real-time integration with the general ledger part. Then it's integrated with the material management as a part of your procurement cycle, and it includes your outgoing payment program, then the vendor master data, invoice posting, payments, down payment, then the period and year end activities, and the various reports related to the vendors or suppliers, you can say. If we move on to accounts receivable, now in this also it is a real-time integration with the general ledger. It is highly integrated with sales and distribution module, and then material and management module as a part of sale cycle. The receivables includes customer invoice posting, incoming payment, down payment from customer, then interest calculation on the customers if the payment has been delayed, dunning for sending notices to the customers for their payment due, then the period and the year end activities and the various reports related to customers. Bank accounting. Bank accounting, which includes all your banking transactions like incoming payment from the various parties, then the outgoing payment to suppliers and others and to employees, all those will be covered in this. So we'll be including your banking configurations, then the check management, how the check have been issued, where it has been maintained within the SAP system. If a check has been bounced, how we would be dealing with that, and how we can get the reports related to the checks and related to the banking balances, and all those will be dealt in it. Then automatic payment run can also be done. Bank reconciliation, a real-time bank reconciliation is possible in the SAP system. And then the cash journal, which includes your day-to-day cash transactions. The next comes is the asset accounting. Asset accounting is a real-time integration with the general ledger, and it is also highly integrated with different other modules like material management, accounts receivables, then accounts payable, and the cost accounting, or you can say controlling. That is the CO module. Asset accounting, we will be including the asset master data, various asset transactions like purchasing of assets, retirement of assets, scrap, then transfer of asset from one department to another department or one place to another place within the organization, how depreciation calculation is done, then again the period and year end activities to be taken care of, and the various reports within the asset accounting part. So these are the major modules in the SAP FI part. And apart from this, we'll be taking up other topics within the SAP FICO FI part, which you should be knowing. You should know as a consultant, like sale and purchase tax. The different kind of a tax has been imposed by the the government or by the legal authorities or the tax authorities related to sale and purchases have been taken care over here. Then the withholding tax part, which take care of the taxes on your or tax deposit on your Withholding tax refers to the tax deducted at source, so the amount of tax which is deducted on your income or the salaries which has been deposited to the government directly by the employer, so that will be taken up within the withholding tax part. Even the vendor payment and vendor invoice have been subjected to the withholding tax or the TDS will be taken up in this. Then there are various foreign currency valuations will be taken care, like the fluctuation in foreign currencies and the foreign currency transactions. If your particular company's currency dealing in dollars, and suppose you are having transaction in euros or yen or some other currencies, how you'd be taking care of that. So that will be taken care in the foreign currency valuation part. Then again the financial statement version, which take care of your financial statement, how it will be reflected, how you want to see your financial statements within the SAP system. You can design that. So that is financial statement version. And broadly in the FI part, what are the different year period and the year end activities, we will be taking care of that as a consolidated part. And apart from this, another important part is integration with other modules. Now the integration includes FI and CO, that is the financial accounting and controlling module integration, then the FI and MM, that is the material management, that refers to procure to pay, and FI and SD, that is order to cash. So a real-time transactions flows from various modules in the FI module for the reporting perspective, and that is why this integration is very important to be taken care of, and it's very important for you to understand this very seriously. So this is a part of SAP FI module content which we'll be covering. And moving on to the next is your SAP CO overview and the SAP CO content which will be taking care in the training part. So controlling is the term by which SAP refers to managerial accounting. Controlling provides information for management decision making. It basically refers to the minimizing the cost and maximizing the profit through actual and planned analysis. So there are various major reports which gives you the status of what were the actual spends, actual cost, and what were the planned cost, and accordingly the analysis can be done that where the cost has been exceeded and why, and it has been exceeded, and the things can be taken care of that. So it is a fully integration with other modules. Controlling and financial accounting are independent components in the SAP system, but yet they are very much linked to each other, as due to the integration part the data flow between the two components take place on a regular basis, that is a real time basis. So moving on to the course content which we'll be covering up in the controlling module, that includes your cost element accounting, FICO reconciliation. So the reconciliation over here is done on a real time basis. You don't have to go for any manual reconciliation of FI and CO. It will be done by the system automatically on a real time. Cost center accounting. In the cost center accounting, we'll also look after the cost center planning, how it has been done. So you can also plan for your cost or for your expenses which have been incurred in the organization. The next comes is the profit center accounting, then the internal orders, internal order planning, product costing, and profitability analysis. If you understand, if we just go for a brief of each of these. So if we move on to cost center accounting, the first part has a content in the controlling. The cost and the revenue element accounting provides an overview of the cost and revenues that occur in an organization. Most of the values are moved automatically from financial accounting to the controlling part. Cost center accounting. The cost center accounting is for controlling purposes within your organization. It is useful for a source related assignment of overhead cost to the location in which they occur. Cost center accounting defines the smallest area of responsibility within the company that causes and influence the cost, the lowest level to which you can meaningfully assign direct and indirect cost. So basically cost center accounting in a simple words take care of your different cost or expenses that have been incurred, and we can have the report with the basis of these cost centers. Then comes the profit center accounting. Profit center accounting is providing the opportunity to analyze and report to the management regarding internal profitability of diff subunits. So as many profit centers you create within a particular organization, it gives you more options to analyze the profitability of those particular subunit parts. So it is profit center can be otherwise can be termed as a company within a company, where you can get different reports, or even you can generate financial statements for that particular profit center which you have defined to a subunit part. So profit center can be set up according to your product line or divisions, even as per your geographical factors or regions and offices also. And it could be even function like production and sales. So it depends how the organization wants the reporting, how the management wants its profitability to be checked within internally, and accordingly they can go for deciding their profit centers. Then we'll be moving on to the internal orders. Internal orders are normally used to plan, collect, and settle the cost of internal jobs and tasks. Internal orders are used for short-term purpose like job fairs, project, etc., whereas cost center are used for long-term purposes to capture the day-to-day cost. So you can even assign budgets for these jobs, which the system monitors to ensure that they are not exceeded. Moving to the next is product costing. Product costing is the process of tracking and studying all the various expenses that are accrued in the production and sale of a product. It roughly comprises of the raw material expenses, process cost like wire gas or electricity which has been consumed, and other elements such as transportation, tool cost, staff cost, welding, etc. So overall the product costing basically is used for costing a product. So it basically includes the all the manufacturing expenses, all the expenses which have been incurred on manufacturing of a product, so as to know what is the cost of a product manufactured. Whereas the profitability analysis enables us to analyze the profitability of market segments according to the following characteristics like products, customers, sales districts, and others. So if you want your profitability to be analyzed as per different market or different segments, you can define those market segments as a product. So you can analyze your profitability product to product wise, or even if you want the market segment to be defined as customers, so you can calculate or you can even analyze the profitability from customer to customer, or even it can be as per the region wise, like you can define the profitability for market segments like US East or US West, or even the whole country as US, and the country to country you can take different as a segment, and accordingly you can have a reporting analysis that from which particular product or customer or region you are getting more profit from the business. So these are the basic major submodules in the controlling part. Apart from this, we'll be covering some of the important topics for SAP FICO, and these are certain parts which you will not get anywhere else as a training part, because these are something which is highly advanced topics which nobody is been interested to give an overview or a full knowledge regarding topics like tables and fields overview. So table and fields overview basically is technicals about FICO, how the various data are being used, how they are being saved, and then with the basis of those data how a customized report can be created. So if you want to create anything as a customized apart from the standard SAP system, you must have the knowledge of tables, fields. Apart, if you don't have that, you will not be able to do any customization in the SAP. So to give you a better, more idea, in SAP, whatever the data we punch or we whatever the transactions we do into the SAP system, basically the transactions are saved at the back end with different tables. And if you want to know, there are more than 400 million tables in SAP where the data is stored from different modules. So over here we'll be looking after what are the different FI and CO tables which are important to for different transactions will be taken care in the table and the fields overview. Moving to the next is SAP Fiori. SAP Fiori is a new technique, a new technology which has been taken up by SAP, and with the help of SAP Fiori, SAP is able to provide you different applications so that you don't have to stick to your personal PC or your desktop system or to your office seat, that for doing any particular work you need to be on that particular restricted mode. No, SAP provides you different applications, and with the help of those applications you can do your work wherever you are. You are not been restricted to a particular per personal computer or a tablet or a mobile phone. You can go parallel to any of these options now, and you can do your work wherever you are. It is not a necessity that you have to reach back to your seat or to to your PC so as to get those particular work done. Just like for an example, if a manager has to approve the leaves or the project or to the travel request of any of the employees or colleagues, in that case he don't need to go back to SAP system for those approvals. If he has got those applications on his phone, with the help of SAP Fury, which is SAP has tried and provided many of the different applications, the manager can do his jobs on the move from his mobile phone or from a tablet as well. So there are different new applications within the SAP FICO modules are also which are in the market, and people have been able to use that with their tablets and with with their smartphones as well. So it is what we'll be looking after in the SAP Fury, what it is all about and what are the different applications which are there in the market which will be used as an application on the smartphone or a tablet on or on a PC as such. Moving to the next is LSMW. LSMW is basically a legacy system migration workbench. This is one of a very important tool from SAP which is used for data migration. Data migration, which is a part of any implementation project. Whenever we go for any implementation project of any SAP from, then in that case you need to move the data from the legacy system of the client to the SAP system. So to do that, this LSMW is very helpful, and with the help of LSMW only we move those data from the legacy system to the SAP system, so that now the client will be able to use the SAP system for the future reference. And the next comes up is the report painter. So report painter is again a tool for various information systems for finance and controlling module. Basically, report painter is been defined or has been created for controlling module. So all the different reports in controlling are been created with the help of report painter, and it is very simple and easy to use, and anyone can easily create their reports within the SAP system. So there are different reports, there are different modules for which the reports have been created in the report painter only from the controlling side, like there is cost center accounting, profit center accounting, product costing, or maybe internal order or profitability analysis. So whatever the kind of reports you need out of these different modules, those reports can be directly created in the report painter, and in that case the functional consultant is not dependent on the technical, that is the ABAP consultant for their programming for the new report. So you can create your new reports of its own. However, SAP even provide many of those standard reports in the report painter also for the controlling part, and now these days even the report painter is used for SAP FI part as well for different financial reports. So if you want, you can create your financial reports with the help of report painter easily into the system. So this is what we have done with the first and the second part. We have covered the overview on FICO module, and then we have, these are the different course content that we will be covering in the SAP FI and CO module, and these are certain important topics apart from that, like table fills, SAP Fury, LSMW, and report painter, which will be as a extra topics for you, so as to learn extra things which will be giving you few extra fruits from the training part. So now we'll be moving to the third part, that is a practical example. So we'll be taking up a practical example which will give you a more understanding of how the SAP system works. So what we'll be doing is we'll be moving with the first submodule in the SAP FI part, that is enterprise structure, and we'll see how those structure can be created within the SAP system. So if you talk about a structure, as whenever you go for any of the uh, implementation project or any of the project you are working with, you first need, if you want to create those things in the SAP system, you need to first define a layout, that how you will be taking up things in the SAP system. So what will be your company, what will be the business areas, what will be the client, and all those things. So you need to have a structure, organizational structure, that there will be a group company, then the group will have how many number of companies will it have, and then within that what are the different functional areas and business areas. So we'll be discussing those all things one by one. So if you talk about the enterprise structure, as you can see the diagram on the screen, the structure is something like this, that there is a client, and within the client in which we work there is a group company. In group company SAP, it is called as a company. Then within the group company there are a number of different company codes. The company codes refers to the legal entities with which we have been working with, and those legal entities can be defined in the SAP system as the company code, and then the different business areas. So we'll be discussing each of these things one by one. So these are the different configuration steps that need to be defined within the enterprise structure, like you need to define a company, then you need to define the company code, and you need to put these together as a link so that they can decide among each other that how they are related to each other. So we need to assign the company to the company code, and then defining the business area, and then define the credit control area and assigning the credit control area to the company code. So let's take this one by one. If we move on to the first configuration step, that is to define the company. If we talk about a company, company is the smallest organizational unit for which individual financial statements can be drawn up according to the relevant commercial law. Basically, in SAP, group companies are referred as company, whereas in general terms we talk about a particular company as a legal entity, but in SAP there is a slight change that the group companies are termed as company in the SAP system. A company can consist of one or more company codes. That means a company can consist of one legal entity, or it can have more